welcome everyone to the first art talk of the issue 6 of our magazine in Al-Tiba Contemporary Art. As you know, today we are presenting the Lab212. I will present to you the collective artists, the amazing artists featuring this new issue of our magazine. French collective artists, very talented, creative designers. They're gonna talk about all what they have been presenting in the magazine. We present to you Béatrice Lartigue, and we have also Nicolas Guichard. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you, Mohamed, for inviting us to this meeting.
Nice to meet you too. I'm really glad to see you in person and be able to talk and exchange with you. I think so as our network right now watching this video live. So introduce yourself. Let us know who you are. I know you in my own version, but I would like to hear from you.
Nicolas Guichard. So I'm designer and artist working with Béatrice for Lab212. My background, maybe quickly, come from the Gobelins School in Paris. We graduated with Béatrice together and with the other members of the Lab212 Collective. So we have a background in design, graphic design, and digital product design. And we use I use this skill, and we do for experimental and artistic installation as a collective.
So I studied architecture before meeting Nicolas in Gobelins, and I also work as an educator in art schools in France and abroad, like Gobelins in Paris and forgery and stuff like that. And yes, with the collective, we work around, we almost do some installations, and we like to play with invisible phenomena, like sound, for example, and perception of space. So yes, since almost 10 years, we work together around
as a collective.
these topics. Yeah, as a collective, yes, exactly.
Amazing. So you are mastering the issue 6 of Al-Tiba9 Magazine with a work titled PASSIFOLIA. So let us know a little bit about the idea, the intention behind it.
PASSIFOLIA, it's a monumental artwork. It takes place in La Gaîté Lyrique in Paris. It's basically it's a way to evoke nature and like a dense jungle forest without showing it, without showing any visual aspect of it. So we focused on light beams, sound, and also we wanted in this piece to make light interactive, like we can touch, like tactile. We make it possible to touch the light, and the light reacts. When you touch it, the beam of light widens, and so you becomes the center of the light. So you feel the warmth of it on your face, and you can hear also synchronously. You can hear the sound of animals, birds or squirrels, and just you can hear these sounds because the sound is broadcasted in very directive speakers. So only you can feel the light and hear the sound.
That's great. It just gives a sensation of being in a real forest at the end, where you're playing with your fingers through this sun, like 10 rays, that's a real sensation. So what's your version of this work, Beatrice?
I would add that maybe there was a lot of work on the sound aspects of it. As Nicolas mentioned it's almost empty. So we just have the lights, but also the sound. There is some, there are many directive sound, but also a big ambient sound where we can hear just a slow atmosphere, very quiet. And then when we go inside the space and like a walk, we can discover some animals like birds or squirrels, for example. And Yes, the idea also was to play with the capacity of our capacity to imagine objects or animal just with sound, and our perception of sound and the way it begin to be real just with spatialized sound in space.
So to shape the space through all the interaction with sounds and the sensation, like sonar sensations.
Exactly, and to play with dimensions.
That's great. I think that the viewer right now, they are really curious about to see this for real. Well, actually online. We're gonna screen for you right now a video to have a glimpse of this amazing installation. Great. It really illustrates everything that you talked about, and it gives that sensation that we really need to be in the installation in order to complete it finally, because this is a space that the viewer is actually part of it. It's like you invite the viewer to be part of your work and interact to complete the holistic experience. We'll show right now a little bit of the magazine. We're going to feature your article, so to have an idea how it looked like and what is about to, let's say, present an interactive installation and a print presentation, let's say. Okay, so here, as you see, is the cover of the issue 6, featuring the Ukrainian digital designer Stepan Rybchenko. Is actually not with us today, but we will have the opportunity to talk about his work and featuring also his article. We go then to the inside front cover, where you are presented, and also all the credit of the magazine. So here, where we give a sensation about the magazine, and your article is here. So you have actually a presentation in here. Let us know about the major exhibition you've participated in.
The major?
Oh. Yeah. The most significant, Béatrice, let's say.
We've exhibited in different kind of places, but maybe I would say with lots of visitors. It was at Barbican in 2014 inside a collective exhibition called Digital Revolution. It was about the history of digital in arts, and it was linked with a contest made by the Barbican and Google, called DevArt, and we had a chance to win this contest and then to exhibit a piece called Les Métamorphoses de Monsieur Calia inside this collective exhibition. So yes, it was a very nice exhibition for like 1 month, and then a tour after began all over the world. So for 5 years, yes, it was a great chance to take part of it.
Yeah, you are also lots of team member behind this complex work, and also you've been so many times the award winner artists. So tell us what's your role in this work? How do you work as a collective?
It depends on each project, in fact, as we are 9 in the collective and everyone is like all over the world. So, but mostly we work in duo or trio, and often also inside the collective, and often also we make some collaborations with other artists, for example, or philosophers or musicians, for example. For example, in PASSIFOLIA, it was commissioned by HERMÈS, and with Nicolas we designed the project, and we worked as a team with also a musician called Chapelier Fou, it's a French musician. He's a violinist and also how to explain it? Do electronics stuff in music.
Okay.
So he composed the music especially for this piece. And we had also chance to work with light designer called Mathieu Caban, sound designer Batispowski. We have all the names. And also other members of the collective like Jonathan Blanchet and yes. So yeah, we were a lot on this project as we don't really realize the dimensions here, but it was 25 meters to 10 meters. So very huge space.
Very significant space.
Yes, and 10 meters tall. So yeah.
You have a full interview on the magazine that will be published on the website in a few days. From those questions that I've been asking you is that you invite the visitor to enter a virtual but yet a real space, let's say natural element and experimentation. So how do you define the notion of the space and time in your work, PASSIFOLIA?
Well, that's an interesting question. When we do some interactive work, what is interesting to us is what happened at the moment of the interaction. The work, the meaning of the work, everything like is revealed when the user or we call it the user, but it's the viewer, but is interacting with it. Like you really feel it when you use it, when you take part of it, and that's when we like to transmit the idea we want to express through the work.
So there is also an idea of something which is unique, as when you discover the piece and regarding your path inside the space and how many people are here and are interacting or just regarding the piece. Each experience is always different because each sound and is playing regarding the interaction, and also the music is also a part of the music is generative, so it means it's evolving slowly, in fact. And yes, I think we also like to play with the idea of something which is ephemeral, which don't stay forever, and even if we use computers, it's fragile in a way. It's something.
It is actually. So now it's like when we go to other type of questions, the things that really intrigues me is the use of technology, especially with what is happening today. You know, everything is actually digital. The forest you are presenting is virtual, is ephemeral. It's very fragile instead of this image we have of a really strong and imposing forest. So let's say, what do humans really excel in your vision of PASSIFOLIA, and what machines excel?
Well, for PASSIFOLIA specifically, we had to use technology to get to that scale. Actually, it was not possible to make it without automated lights, without image recognition softwares, without highly directive speakers. So I think specifically for PASSIFOLIA, technology helps us to reach that scale, that level of like 16 light beams, interactive light beams. Yeah.
What is interesting with this kind of dispositif or piece is the surprise, and I imagine it's linked with the machine, but also with the visitors, with human behaviors inside the piece, because it depends on each visitors what happened then. We just define some rules or like a protocol we described for the piece, and then when it's done, the exhibitions open, and then after we don't control what is happening. And I imagine it's the most interesting part, because, for example, in PASSIFOLIA, the visitors came and then take the, imagine it's usual now, but with the light, they were like very majestic and very like, yes, beautiful in the lights, the visitors. So they took their phone and take a picture, like, and yeah, we didn't thought of that, in fact, because we were thinking of the forest. And so sometimes the behaviors of the visitors are very interesting, and
Unexpected.
also the interaction between the visitors themselves, even if they don't know before the visit.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting what say Béatrice about about what human excels and what technology brings here in our piece. And I don't know if it's true for every technology, but what we try to do in our pieces is to somehow bring people together, because they arrive in a space with new rules they're not used to. They don't know what to do. They don't really know. So they look at each other, and then by looking at each other, trying to figure out how it works, they interact with each other, and then they dive into the piece, and they interact with the piece, and somehow they interact with each other as well. So here, technology, we use it to create bonds between humans, we could say.
That's very interesting. What is the most interesting or intriguing tip you had or you received from a visitor during an exhibition?
Actually, for this one, for PASSIFOLIA, was not the visitor, was a commissioner. Said, like, you are, this piece makes you like a plant, like you become the plant, which is producing photosynthesis, you know, like plants producing oxygen through light beams. And they had the feeling like this piece transformed them into a plant and doing like photosynthesis. I don't know if that answered exactly your question, but I thought of that.
Great. So today, you know, all the presentations are different, are digital, are virtual. We haven't been such prepared, let's say, for a big change on the artistic expressions, yet we adapt ourselves. That's why we are actually presenting the project like this. It will be part of a dream for me to exhibit the work in a real exhibition space. So how do you keep yourself up to date with the trends on technology and digital skills? How do you keep, you know, going on the move?
I imagine it links also with our personal curiosity. We like to learn, to continue to learn every day. Also, we often work in collaboration, so we learn from other person we work with, from their skills, their specific skills in their domain of competency. And we often take part of festivals too. Like, for example, we will be in a KIC festival in Belgium in November. It's a huge international festival. And then, yes, it's a chance for us to meet other artists, to develop our network, and then to learn new, I don't know, new technology or new devices or new way of seeing an existing technology, or
That's amazing. And what about you, Nicolas?
Same as Béatrice, I think it's a mix of personal curiosity and also the network. We are surrounded with talented people who are exploring very specific fields of technology, like artificial intelligence, those kind of things. Quite personally, I surprised myself diving a lot lately into the makers community YouTube videos. I think it's quite fascinating. I got lost lately in these channels.
That's amazing. Actually, actually is the source number one for learning, like daily learning for me. I think I spend as much time on learning through YouTube videos as much as I work. Actually, you know, it just like it takes a long time, significant time for me. Like I usually don't watch TV shows or films or TV itself, but I'm all the time there on YouTube, you know, just like, so I understand that. So the last question I would say, what's the thing that you wish you could knew before to start your career as artist?
That's a good question.
Don't wait for it to be perfect. Don't wait for your work to be perfect to show it. Maybe.
So to give out perfection, that's what you mean?
Yeah, maybe.
To give out perfection, that is a really good advice for artists.
And I would say maybe don't be afraid to show your work, even if maybe it's linked with Nicolas' idea. But the way that sometimes, you know, you just finished a piece and you're like that, like, wow, what are the results? What is the result and what is happening now? But we learn from visitors' reaction and more specifically as it's interactive. So we need visitor impressions or feelings to understand what is happening, and if we need to, I don't know, improve a piece or something on the piece. So yes, don't be afraid to show the work.
Show your work.
Yes,
that includes also video. Do videos. I think that's that's a key. That's really that's difficult. It's very difficult to do.
Good documentation.
Yeah, each time we force ourselves.
That's amazing. You know, to recognize actually what you need, because today I think most of the artists are very poor of documentation and materials, very poor of good photographies and very good videos that gives a sensation. You know, your photographs are amazing, but the 30 seconds video with just screen, it gives the holistic experience. So you know, as a part of all the artwork, you know, you created this masterpiece, but the video completed when it's needed, like on a time like today. Well, so I think that we've done 360 tour for this amazing work. We will see you again very soon for a talk for different artworks, because our journey is just started, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna meet each other again. So 2 words you say before you leave this art talk.
I don't know. Thank you for inviting us, and yes, maybe we hope to meet in real life.
For sure.
No, why not to do something? I don't know, in Barcelona or.
That'd be great. Yes.
We don't know.
Perfect.
We'll see.
You, Nicolas, anything to say?
Yeah. I wish everything will be smoother so we can meet in real and continue to do cool work and meet lovely people. Yeah.
Good. Well, on my part, I say thank you for being yourself, for being artist, brilliant, creative, and especially courageous on keeping the hard work, even in a very hard situation that we are living today. And for all the viewers, so expect the video coming very soon on YouTube and the magazine also by the end of this week. So thank you very much, and definitely I'll see you soon.
See you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.